I think we good. I think we good. I think we good. I think we good, y'all. Alright, y'all, with no further ado, let's get this show started. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in episode 257. It's a lot of episodes. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. If it's your first time tapping in, we talk about everything here: music, sports, entertainment, social media, social commentary. It's a lot going on in the world. We have the serious conversation and we have the fun conversation at the same time. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been so amazing and pivotal of the show's growth. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers with a little over 13. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. It does help with the growth of the show. And again, I drop videos daily, whether they're videos or and shorts. I've been seeing y'all interactions in those videos, and again, I thank y'all for the uptick in the engagement of the podcast. Thank you. Again, it's episode 257. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. And remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability by standing out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. Remember, the only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. We celebrate life culture. With no further ado, let's get the show started, y'all. Shout out to the chat, man. Chat in here deep and early. Appreciate y'all in here. Shout out to Shay in the building. Send David to Turkey. Shout out to Winter. Hey everyone, the loyal crew. Shout out to Hazel. Big Hazel in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Ashley in chat. Shout out to King P, my dog. Yo, party people. Alright, love and light. Okay, shout out to Tremont in the building. Brooklyn in the building. David is a monster. Okay, y'all going in on the artist David. Okay. Shout out to Lear in the building. David might get away with it. Okay. So y'all going back. Yeah, okay. So I'll see what's going on. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Ebony in the building. Shout out to Shay in the building. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. I'm not gonna say everybody, but again, just some special ones because we see some day one, some big badge holders. King Prince had his badge for over 2 years, and a couple other badge holders in the building. Again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Alright, y'all, first segment of the night. Y'all already know how we do this thing. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, as you see it in the back. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. And make sure y'all go and stay in tune, man. Alright, y'all, first segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all already know the rules of the game. These are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions and make sure y'all stay engaged. All right, top city to build wealth in the U.S. Top city to build wealth in the U.S. Number 1, Omaha, Nebraska. Number 2, Des Moines, Idaho. Number 3, it just said Tennessee. And number 4, San Antonio, Texas. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, top city to build wealth in the U.S. Number 1, Omaha, Nebraska. Number 2, Des Moines, Idaho. Number 3, Tennessee. It just said Tennessee as a state. It didn't even say the city. And number 4, San Antonio, Texas. I almost didn't get that out. San Antonio, Texas. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to my dog, Rowan Jack, my dog, one of our big badge holders, one of our day ones. Had his badge, another badge holder for over 2 years, man. Appreciate my dog. And y'all better talk to me nice, because that's one of my mods, too. So make sure y'all talk to me nice. Shout out to the chat, man. So I'm seeing Omaha, Nebraska in the chat. I'm seeing Tennessee in the chat. Yeah, so I'm seeing Nebraska, Tennessee, and I'm seeing Iowa in the chat. You say you're on double top. Yeah, so it's quite interesting that majority of these cities is like middle America, what we would consider middle America, right? The Midwest, right? Tennessee, obviously, if you don't know about the state of Tennessee, there's no state tax. Just like Florida, just like Texas, just like Nevada, there's no state tax in Tennessee. So that's like the closest eastern city or state where you could live state tax free. You always gotta pay federal, y'all. It's just state tax. You don't pay state tax. So I found it interesting. Do you have one West Coast on this list, which is San Antonio? I've been to San Antonio. San Antonio is a lot like Orlando. I live in Orlando now. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Lived in Brooklyn all my life, except for the last 12 years, maybe 11 years. I lived in Florida. And in Orlando, is you could compare it easily to San Antonio. Very easily. But San Antonio has is you can save more money in San Antonio because there's a little less to do. But it's just one of those places where it's nice. You get a bang for your buck, and you can save your money if making some money. I've been to, like I said, I've been to all these other places except for Iowa. I haven't been to Iowa, and I hear that you could live a great life in Iowa mainly because how much money you save. So most people, obviously, I'm from New York, when they say I can't live in other places because other places pay you less. So what? It's not about how much you make, it's how much you save. So would you rather make $120,000, right, and only save maybe $5,000 of that every year, opposing to living in Iowa, Tennessee, San Antonio, where you only make 80,000, but you save 20 of it, right? 1 plus 1 equal 2, so that's easy math. So that's the highlights of these different cities. So me personally, I'm gonna go with Tennessee mainly because you don't have to pay state tax. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Tennessee on this list. Again, in the chat, I seen a lot of 2s and a lot of 3s, which again was Des Moines, Iowa, Tennessee as a state, and then of course we also had Nebraska well represented, Omaha well represented in the chat. The rest of the world, mind y'all, 98,000 people voted on this. 35% went with San Antonio. They went with San Antonio. Again, I'm not surprised because if you do your research, Texas have many areas where they have the lowest or one of the lowest cost of living outside of the state of Kansas. Texas has one of the lowest cost of living in their different various cities. Again, going back to that same metric, would you rather make 80 grand and save 20,000 of it opposed to working in a big city and making 120 grand and only being able to save 5, right? So I'm not surprised that people chose San Antonio. But the actual number one answer is coming in at number 4 was actually Omaha, Nebraska. Coming in at number 3 was the state of Tennessee in itself. Coming in at number 2 was San Antonio, Texas. So that was number 2. Coming in at number 1 is Des Moines, Iowa. Again, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because Iowa seems like one of those places where, again, you can make good money and save a lot of the money. The only real worry you have in Iowa, for real, if you really think about it, is hurricanes. It's hurricanes and it's hurricanes, right? Hurricanes and tornadoes. Those are the biggest things you got to worry about. They have like 3 big college football teams in Iowa. So it's these like party atmosphere type of places. So it's probably something always to do in Iowa low key. So I'm not surprised, but you get to save a whole lot of money. Shout out to Rowan Jack, shout out to Ebony. If I get stationed in Florida, I'll come down to the show. You better pull up, Rowan. If you come down to Florida, you better pull up, brother. I'm just happy the West Coast wasn't on the list. If the San Antonio is considered West Coast, right? It's Texas, right? So, but I think I know what you mean by West Coast, more so California, Oregon, Washington. I think that's, I think that's what you probably meant. Maybe Vegas, because you consider Vegas West Coast. But Vegas again, there's no state tax, but the cost of living, the cost of living ain't easy in Nevada. You know what's crazy? I was gonna buy a second home in Las Vegas back like pre-COVID. It was pre-COVID. It was right before the Raiders came to Vegas. It was actually before they announced, and I had got word that I was gonna have another business out in Vegas, but the people I was gonna do it with, it fell through. So hence I didn't get the other place in Vegas. But at that time, Vegas was very tax friendly and cost of living friendly at that time. This was like pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question on this list. Best movie party. I said that right. Best movie party scene on this list. Best movie party scene on this list. Number one, the movie Strictly Business. Number two, the movie New Jack City. Number three, the movie House Party. And number four, the movie Sinners. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, best movie party scene on this list. Best movie party scene on this list. Number one, Strictly Business. Number two, New Jack City. Number three, House Party. And number four, Sinners. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. A shout out to Ron Jack. I love Nevada. It's just dry Florida. and Nevada get cold too. The very first time I went to Las Vegas and everybody telling me how high they get. This was like October. I pull up in all my Florida clothes. I didn't even go to my room first. I made a beeline to the mall to get me a jacket and some pants. It was cold as balls. Balls. I was like, yo, I thought it was hot all year. But that was a learning moment for me. So he said it's dry as a dry version of Florida. So I'm seeing House Party. It's a House Party for sure. I'm seeing Strictly Business. Okay, he says Strictly Business. Rowan Jack, House Party. But I know Ash is partial to New Jack City. Come on, man. You can't be telling the people my answer, Rowan Jack. You know I'm going with New Jack City. You know I'm going with New Jack City. Alright. Best movie party scene. Think about it, y'all. Okay, Sinners. That whole scene, just the party in itself was a good time before the invasion happened, right? They showed the different cultures of the culture. Love it, right? And that party looked like somewhere you want to be at in the 1930s. Obviously, except for the vampires, right? But it looked like a good time. You could meet a young lady. You could get your hair. And you could drink. You could get your little drinky drink for a penny. You know what I'm saying? Good time. You feel me? Good music, all that, right? House Party, you get rap battles, you get fine women dancing. That scene where you go from one area to the next in House Party, just classic. It looked like somewhere you want to be. You know what I mean? Strictly Business, the scene when they went to the club and Halle Berry in the middle of the dance floor and, you know what I'm saying, short haircut, all that just looked like a good time. You know what I'm saying? But New Jack City Party. Look at that scene when the group guy was performing. You seen the bartender get into it. He in there dancing with the drinks. It was on a whole nother level, in my opinion. So I'm going with New Jack City. Yeah, y'all said it in the chat. So I'm going with New Jack City. In the chat, I seen Strictly Business and I seen House Party. I'm not surprised that I seen House Party. Shout out to getting in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Your comment was whack. I must be tapping it into your insecurities. So, and then the crazy thing is you would switch life with me. So like you coming on here trying to crack jokes, you don't have a picture up, like that goes into your insecurities, brother. I'm the type of man I can meet your mother and smash your moms. I could smash your big sister, your little grown sister. I tap into your insecurities. I come into your room and say, hey, your mother say take out the trash. And he's trying to crack on me like who like yo the nerve, yo. The nerve. He would switch bank accounts with me, he would switch life with me, but go get a job. I feel you, no doubt. Anyway. Anyway. Again, I'm going with New Jack City. Again, in the chat, I seen a mix. I seen strictly business. I seen house parties. I did not see sinners though. I did not see sinners. But the rest of the world, at mind you, 193,000 people voted on this. 44% went with sinners. Y'all went with sinners for this? I'm not going to downplay Sinners because Sinners was a fire movie, but we're talking about just the party scene. I mean, like I said, in the 1930s, that's somewhere I would want to be. But come on, the best party scene? I can't agree with that. I'm not agreeing with that. Not at all. Not at all. Shout out to Rowan Jack. He said he is sorry, Ash. He will do better. Yeah, he gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? He gotta do better, man. He gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? He gotta do better. He coming in all reckless. Yeah, I tap into them insecurities. You know what I'm saying? It's all good though. It's all good. He need love in his life. That's what he need. He need love in his life. You know what I mean? All right, so moving on to our next segment. I'll bring one of our newer segments to the podcast, Barbershop Talk. Again, Barbershop Talk. So today's Barbershop Talk is, and this was another conversation we had in the barbershop quite, it was not so long ago. Why is it acceptable for older women to date younger, but not older men to date younger women? That was the barbershop talk. And this is not going to be long-winded. It's just simple and sweet. It's more accepted that older women date younger men is because we're men. Men, we don't find perversion in sex unless if you're dealing with children. That's the only time we feel like we see perversion in sex. So when a grown woman deals with a younger man who is grown, you don't hear younger men complaining about it. Younger men understand the assignment. Tap that ass and keep it pushing. That's all that really is. And a younger man, he doesn't feel threatened in his space and place in the dating market. That's why it's more acceptable. When older men date younger women who are adults, the older women who are looking and the older women who is looking, and some of those older women, not some, but those older women are lacking. So because they're lacking, they feel like a younger woman is taking their place, not realizing if that younger woman wasn't there, it would just be another woman. That's all it would be. You're not going to get a better shot because that younger woman is there. That's not how it works. So that was the big barbershop talk in the barbershop. And the reason why we had the women a part of that, because in my barbershop is big, but on the other side there is women, and they be ear hustling into the conversations, and they made their way into the conversation. So that's why it's acceptable for older women to date younger men opposed to older men dating younger women. Is because the older women is more vocal, and they feel like they're losing a potential partner, not realizing if you're lacking, it's still not going to be you. he's just gonna find another woman. And older men understand the assignment. Younger women who are grown understand the assignment. It's not about mind tricks. It's not about manipulation. It's just some people are jaded. It's just a simple thing. If someone is jaded, you don't want to put energy into that. But when somebody can learn things, can be shown things, and appreciate things, look at it differently. So that's my barbershop talk for tonight's episode. Like I said, I was going to keep it nice and sweet regarding that. Shout out to the chat. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Alright, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Our Hollywood Need to Ask Us segment. I came up with this segment because Hollywood just don't give us enough great movies. That's why you've seen the dip in the theaters. People saying, well, they're not making, well, they're saying that the movie theaters, is something wrong with the movie theaters. The reason why people are not pulling up, the streaming services have something. No, it's just they're not making good enough movies for us to go see. Like how y'all see with the Michael Jackson movie. If you make a movie that people want to go see, people are going to see it. Everybody and their mother's going to go see Michael Jackson. Everybody and their mother's going to go see Michael Jackson because it's something people want to see. It's simple, easy. So if you know people like biopics, I said it before. We still need a Prince biopic. We still need a Michael McDonald biopic. So we need a Marvin Gaye biopic. I mean, it's so many biopics that we need, and people would go out and see these movies. So again, I feel like I got better ideas for movies or a movie series. So my Hollywood need to ask us. I would love to see a horror film based on. I would say a horror a horror. I hope I'm saying it right. A horror slasher. I kept saying thrasher slasher. Right. I want to see a horror slasher. Basically, I'm gonna call this movie The New Plumber, and it's basically a young woman. She hires a local plumber to the area. It's a new area for the plumber, and things are just happening in this space every time he comes to fix something unbeknownst to the residents in this particular building. Obviously, this would be rated R. My foundational actors would be Anthony Starr, Angela Bassett, Courtney Vance, Patina Miller, June Gable, Gavin, and Gavin Leatherwood. The director for this movie would be T.I. Wood. My producer would be James Wayne. My music score, I have to go with the master of this, which is John Carpenter. My co-writer would be Jennifer Kent. So I think this movie would be absolute fire. I think everybody and their mother will want to go see this. Again, a new slasher film movie, horror style, and you have these great actors in here. To me, it's going to go through the roof. I'm so tired of the screams. I'm so tired of all these slasher movies that we going on slasher movie 8, slasher movie 9, and we get another Jason movie, we get another Michael Myers movie. It's like, yo, let's have some of these new ideas and create new slasher stars. So that would be my Hollywood need to ask us, and I think this movie would be absolute fire. I think everybody and their mother will go see this. So shout out to my dog Roman Jack. He talking about Terry Crews need a biopic. No, he don't. He go play in a biopic, but he don't need a biopic. Uh, Alright, so moving on to our next segment. I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into. We tapping into the Michael Jackson Awards. 3 fire songs that you must tap into. And these 3 Michael Jackson Awards goes to 3 fire songs by this profile artist. And y'all know how I do. Whether they new or old, whether they hip hop and R&B, I'm going to give y'all some of that fire. So my profile artist for tonight is the legendary Jodeci. And believe it or not, there's some people that don't know who Jodeci is. I spoke to one of my younger cousins the other day. He was like, I've never listened to a Jodeci song. I'm like, yo, you are missing out on life right now. I'm like, Personal question you don't have to answer. Are you sexually active, bro? Like you a grown man. So how are you active and you don't have Jodeci in your playlist anywhere? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like Jodeci was like the easy win for tonight. So my 3 Michael Jackson awards goes to Jodeci. Their first song, You and I. Fire song, must have on your list. Second Michael Jackson award goes to their song, I'm Still Waiting. And my third final Michael Jackson award goes to their song, Let's Go Through the Motions, Baby. Fire songs put on y'all playlist. Again, my 3 Michael Jackson awards goes to the group Jodeci and their song, You and I, I'm Still Waiting, and Let's Go Through the Motions. Fire must-have songs on y'all playlist. Shout out to the chat. Oh, we got my dog Tom in the building. Appreciate my dog Tom in the building. Ebony. I will watch this movie in a heartbeat. Great idea. We heard it. We heard it here first. Appreciate that, Ebony. Appreciate that. Shout out to my dog Tom, Ashley, and chat fam. Stay blessed and balanced life. Always remember your health is your true wealth. That's a fact. Man, that's been my motto. My mental, my spirit, my body, and the money. That's been the motto. That's been my motto. I don't know if y'all seen pictures of me lately, you know what I'm saying? When I take off the shirt, you know what I'm saying? I've been on it, you know what I mean? I've been on my business when it come to that gym work. No church, no God. No church, God bless. Your true temple is not no church. God bless. Okay, alright, so I'll make sure I got that right. Shout out to Tom. Thanks, Tom. If you don't know who Jodeci is, you never had a woman in your life before. Bro, when he said that to me, I was like, I had to really ask that question. I'm like, yo, how are you a young grown man? You in your mid to late you in your mid to early 20s, and you never like listen to Jodeci. So that was why my next question, respectfully, yo, are you sexually active? Because there's no way. Like, Jodeci is a cheat code. All you gotta do, Netflix and chill, and just have Jodeci in the background. And y'all know how I know with Netflix and chill. Like, y'all don't even get to the movie. Like, the movie is watching y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how that go. Like, so these songs right here from Jodeci, I mean, Jodeci got a real catalog. These right here is not too, and it's like right, it's perfect. It's right in pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you said that, Tom. I'm glad you said that. Shout out to Maria. We got Maria Rivera in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hey, sir. How are you doing? Saw the premiere of Michael Jackson last night with Bobby Brown. Just got done tour this evening in Nashville. Congratulations to you doing big things in your career. I can't wait to see the movie myself. I'm looking forward to it. At first I wasn't, because I'm a big fan of the American Dream in that movie and how those actors was acting in the portrayal of Michael Jackson and the brothers, the mom, the dad, the whole it was just phenomenal. So I'm going to be highly critical of this Michael Jackson movie. I'm not going to lie. So I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. And we got the NFL draft this week. So I got a nice weekend ahead that I'm looking forward to. But Michael Jackson movie I'm going to be very critical of, for sure. But that's dope, though. That's dope. My dog Tom, I was learning to love money like New York cousins. Don't sleep until all the money is in your hands. That's a fact. That's funny, but that's also true too. That's funny. Diddy taught me to love. Yo, roll a jag. Yo, chill. Yo, chill. Roll a jack, chill, dog. He said Diddy taught me how to love. Y'all gotta chill, yeah. That's funny. Shout out to Tom. Jodeci, Stay Forever My Lady. What? Yeah. See, I already did Jodeci, and I already said Stay Forever My Lady, and it was another song that I probably said Fiendin', right? So this is probably like the second time I did Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the song list profile artists, because Jodeci, their catalog is extensive where you could just let the catalog play and it does the work for you. So fellas, if you know, you know. There's ladies in the chat, and I'm pretty sure y'all heard Jodeci a couple of nights. We all grown in here. Let's be honest. Uh, Stay is actually my favorite song ever from Jodeci. Stay. The video and the song. Fire, fire. Uh, Rowan Jack, yes sir. Jodeci, come and talk to me, my jam, especially at couples skate. See, Maria knows. See that, like when I be trying to get the game, you know what I'm saying? Like I know this, you know what I'm saying? I put a lot of work in over the years, you know what I mean? Like I know, you know what I mean? It does the work, you know? Jodeci just make it happen, baby. You feel me? One of my favorite scenes of Jodeci when it was on Martin though, and Martin bust up their performance, and funny, oddly enough, that wasn't planned. Like they just thought that they was coming in to perform, and Martin just did that, and they just went with the flow, which just made it even more funny and knowing the story. But Jodeci, like I said, Jodeci is just one of those groups when it comes to setting the mood right. You trying to get your night cracking, dog. Just let Jodeci play. For real. Even if you make a best of, which is even better. You make a best of Jodeci, just let it play. Netflix and chill. Yeah, you got the movie on in the background. It's on mute. You listen to Jodeci. You got the little candles. The light, all the lights is off. You got the candles rocking. You got a little ambiance and everything like that. The place smell good. You feel me? The bed or the couch looking extra comfy. The movie gonna be watching y'all is the point that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? Uh, got him. Yeah, you caught. I ain't gonna hold you, Rowan. You caught me. You caught. Cause I wasn't expecting that. You said, "Did he taught me to love?" That was crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. Ashley, I don't care what anybody say. Bobby Brown influenced Jodeci, especially Jodeci. That brother will take his shirt off in a minute, just like young Bobby. Yeah, cause you gotta remember Bobby Brown is older than Jodeci, right? They like the little brothers. You know what I'm saying? All the groups is like the little brothers to New Edition, for sure. They super pivotal. That's why when I spoke on last episode, or was it 2 episodes ago? I think it was 2 episodes ago. I blasted the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because they didn't bring in New Edition to the Hall of Fame Rock and Roll, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I blasted them for that because that was crazy to me. You bring in Lauryn Hill, you bring in Wu-Tang, you bring in Queen Latifah, you bring in MC Light, all of them very deserving. So I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, no, they all deserving. But New Edition don't get in first ballot. Like where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, that's crazy. Clean clean sheets all day, silk sheets on my California King. See, you know what I'm saying? Marie already know the bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Marie already know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm pissed off about that. 100% dead wrong. Leon Thomas is coming. Pause. Kim. Leon Thomas is cool, but he hasn't like. I mean, he cool. But I haven't leaned into his music all the way in yet. I will say that. So I want to give Leon Thomas a fair shake. I'm just like I'm you know the R&B got to be popping. He got a couple of joints that I do like. But I'm gonna give him a fair shake. So I'm not gonna dismiss that at all. Kim was decent. Yeah, Kim is cool. Kim got some joints though. He's better than decent. Kim got some joints because when that love call and the way he sing it, he only can sing it the way he sing it though. You know, but Kim is cool. Kim is cool. Orlando, October London is fair. Yeah, I mean we got some dope R&B's, but again, if you a grown ass man, and what I consider a grown ass man, 23 and over. When you 18, 19, 20, 21, you a young man, still old enough to make decisions, still got to be accountable. But 23 is like, yo, you like, and you like women, dog. Like, you gotta have Jodeci in the repertoire. I don't. And believe it or not, ladies, I do want to answer this too. Every man that's about his business with the opposite sex, we got sex tapes. Yeah, for sure. Meaning, we got music that we're gonna play when you come over, for sure. We want to get it popping. Yes. And we're playing the music so the music could do it for us. Well, we don't have to say, hey, do we get consent? No, like when's the last time you smashed with somebody? You were like, before I do this, can I get a little consent? Consent is what y'all doing. Like, if she with it, she touching you, you touching her. That's, you know what I'm saying. So the music helps that. You know, got drive me crazy here tonight. October London is fire. These brother fire because of the woman. Uh, I'm a I'm a lesbian, and Jodeci is a must. Feel you on that. Feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? I like lesbians too. I'm a lesbian too. Let that sink in, y'all. Uh, Calvin Richardson, when the women are into the men they will follow is Tupac quote, and a quote that should be LLC. Shout out to Paul in the building. Music sets the mood. See, y'all know the music is the cheat code. Always been the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Always been the cheat code. When you trying to have a good night, always been the cheat code. Some people lean on that red wine in the music. I'm not a big drinker like that, but I do have alcohol in my home for my guests. You know, ship on shop, make you feel better. Relax. Shout out to Tom Ashley. It doesn't have to sink in. I'm a born again lesbian every single day. I knew it. Ash got them lesbo. Yeah. Yo, Rowan. Yo, you stupid dog. Yo, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you say stuff like that, people like, so is he saying? Yeah, I'm saying I like women. You know, that's why I say let that sink in, right? Because some people don't get that. Like, so yeah. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hey, we're about to get on a flight, man, and we're about to send them to Turkey or not. Send them to Turkey or not. Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type in N not to send it to Turkey. Y'all know how we do it. When we agree, we send it to Turkey. No, when we not jacking something, we send it to Turkey. When we understand that we don't send it to Turkey, y'all know the rules of the game. So make sure y'all type in T to send it to Turkey. Type it in not to send it to Turkey. When somebody say or do something crazy. Shout out to Maria. She said John B is fire. That's a fact. One of my favorite songs is Don't Stop. Don't Stop. Let me. Right with you. Yeah, that's my joint right there for sure. Uh, Ash Burgundy. I told you I'm like Ron Burgundy, baby. I'm gonna read the stuff that come up on the teleprompter, baby. So I proofread as I'm reading, and then I realize I gotta stop. Ashley, and that's why sometimes y'all catch me reading really low. All right, so we got just don't like women. We love them. That's a fact, man. I love the ladies, man. I do. I do. I don't like women. I love women. I love them. But I will say this: there's a time and place for everything. There was a time, and I posted a picture of myself the other day, just proud of my gains and working out. I've been on it for months, and I get a text saying, don't show my body off. I'm like, show your body off. Ma'am, no, I'm gonna come see you. Did I ask you to? I'll call you. Just demanding. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my woman. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But I still love him though. Maria Joe is fire too. Mine is Don't Say by John. Oh yeah, Don't Say by John. Yeah, John B. Yeah, that joint by John B. I actually, believe it or not, I went to school with John B's ex-wife sister. That's crazy, right? His ex-wife sister. I went to school with her. We went to college together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went to school with her. She was cool too. She was cool. Nothing happened. I immediately like, oh, her, you got this all the tricks? Like, nah. We was cool. She was a nice looking girl, but she was cool. You know what I'm saying? We was cool. You know what I mean? But I didn't even try to holler at her. I was just like, oh, word, that's your brother-in-law. That's lit. That's lit. I didn't even try to, you know what I'm saying? You can't be thirsty all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, I went to FAMU in Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, that's lit. I live in Orlando. Tallahassee, it's not close. But, it like, you gotta be, to go from Orlando to Tampa Bay, you gotta be in the mood to make that drive. That's not like a drive you just, alright, I'm gonna go to Tampa today, you know? Tallahassee, that's a whole nother beast. That's a whole nother beast. Alright, y'all. First one of the night, send them to Turkey or not. Again, type in T to send it to Turkey, type it in not to send it to Turkey. Philadelphia Brinks truck was hit. Philadelphia Brinks truck was hit for almost $2 million. Two armed men stole $1.8 million in cash. No arrests have been made. FBI is leading the investigation. Again, Philly Brinks truck hit for almost $2 million. Two armed men stole $1.8 million in cash. And now FBI is now leading the case, and there's been no arrests made. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending Brinks, the Brinks company? No. Are we sending the FBI to Turkey or not for making an arrest and finding out who did this? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Maria. I went to Dr. Phillips Orlando. Yeah, that's a nice spot. I don't live too far from Dr. Phillips, actually. Yeah, I don't live too far from there. Rowan Jack, go Knowles. Send that Brinks truck. No turkey. They said no turkey, get that money. Shout out to Maria. I'm happy for them in this economy. Get that money. Yo, y'all funny. Shout out to everybody. Just the truck for being weak. Yo, y'all are funny tonight. Y'all are funny. Well, y'all funny all the time, but yo, y'all killing them tonight though. Me personally, I can't send. I can't send the FBI to Turkey. Mainly because, I'm not going to lie to y'all, two main reasons. One, this is the first time we covered a bank robbery or a robbery on this channel where it's been, like, it made sense. Like, I cover stories where it was one robber that robbed 6 banks and made $650. They caught him and now he's in jail. Then you had another bank robber that robbed 8 banks and made $22,000 out of all, from the total of 8 banks. Just like that robber, out of 6 places he robbed, he made $606 or $650. They made almost $2 million. So for my second reason, I root for the bad guy. Are they bad guys if you broke and, and, and you take from the the system that got the money? I I can't send it to Turkey. I don't want them to catch him. Honestly, I don't. They say they don't have any cameras being able to trace them because they was able to ditch their car and they just ran into the woods. So there's no way to trace these guys. Obviously, they was wearing masks. I don't want them to get caught. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want them to get caught. I don't advocate, but if you're going to take penitentiary chances, be smart, plan well, and get away with it. $1.8 million, dog, in today's world, cash, all I have to say after they did the hard part, they did the hard part. Keep cool and act like you don't have any money. That is my next course of action if I'm them. You have the money, treat it as if you don't have the money. What do that mean is the same life you've been having, continue to have. That's it. Keep your head above water. That's it. Don't buy a new car. Don't buy new clothes. Don't buy no jewelry. Don't get a new home. Don't get any of that. Keep it cool. Keep it gradual. Keep it cool. Keep it gradual. And keep it slow and steady. I don't want them to get caught. I gotta keep it real. I don't want them to get caught. I don't want them to get caught. Because at the end of the day, we don't hear stuff like this. We don't hear stuff like this. Shout out to the chat. The chat, my parents live in Crime Hills. Just a truck for being weak. I have family in Tangola Park and Mercy Drive. We sent a guy last week to Turkey for robbing, so you remember, right? Shout out to Road Jack. You remember? We celebrate success. Yo, you feel me, Rowan? This is success right here, baby. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate life culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, hate has a location. It's just not here. You know what I'm saying? We not going to be a stain regarding them getting away with $1.8 million, almost $2 million in cash. I'm just saying, like, I want them to succeed. 1.8 can almost buy a nice house on the West Coast. 1.8, you don't even want to live on the West Coast. With 1.8, let's keep it real. Why live in a place where you're barely getting the good, where you could live somewhere and get the palace, right? But again, we got to be smart. With 1.8, you're not thinking about buying no house. You're not thinking about buying no nice car. No, you keep it slow, you keep it steady, you keep it struggling. And then if and when y'all start building a business, build the business nice and slow. Slow them receipts down, then show a whole lot of losses. It's like you never got that money. But you got to keep it cool. Don't buy no jewelry. Don't buy no clothes until you can prove the asset. That's how that works. You get a job. Oh, yeah, I made 80 grand this year, so I bought me one thing. I bought me a car, and I paid a car note. You know what I'm saying? You'll go in there like, yeah, I made 80 grand this year, and I bought a whole car that's 80 grand, and I bought an 80 cash. Like, nah, you tell it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it smooth and steady, baby. You know, so I can't send this to Turkey. I'm glad that they got away with it, and I hope they don't get caught. I have to be honest. Started from the bottom, now we here. Shout out to Marie. Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. If I got $1.8 million in cash, and I hope I get that one day through various things that I do, whether music, podcasting, my businesses. If I got $1.8 million in cash, I'm going to be dancing and smiling in my house all day. That's all I'm going to be doing, dancing and smiling. And you know how you dance and smile and you look in the mirror with the cash. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? But we damn sure started from the bottom, now we here. Can you get a decent home in the Metro West area. Oh, the Metro West is like considered Atlanta, right? That's considered like Atlanta, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. What? Don't, especially don't go to a place like Macon, Georgia. In Macon, Georgia, I, they wanted 4 bedroom, nice house, 2 bathroom. Macon, Georgia, like 179 right now, 179 to maybe like 189 in Macon, damn near Palace. So for sure. Uh, no, in Orlando, Florida. Oh yeah. In Florida, Orlando area. Yes, for sure, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've got a 5 before pool metro for 475. That's kind of high, but that's a lot of home. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that's kind of high mainly because where the market would used to be at in Orlando. I remember when before I was moving to Orlando, and my father friend, he was like, "Yo, you should move to Miami." This is before I even thought about moving to Florida. He was like, "Yeah, move to Miami. Orlando's a bad investment." And I'm like, "Yeah, nah, I don't feel that way." But mind you, he's a broker. He's a home bride. He's a home getter, something like that. This was like 2000, like 13, 2014, and back at them times, a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom will run you about like 195, right? And it was like, yeah, that's a bad investment. Mind you, it's not just the home that you're buying. It was in a nice area, and they had the full gate and the driveway. So I was like, yo. And my father was like, yeah, no, move to Miami. He's an expert, so, I wish I would have jumped on that. I wish I would have jumped on that. Why did I listen, right? Like, sometimes you have to be hard headed. Sometimes you have to be hard headed. No, it's Orlando, Florida. Uh, Shout out to Rowan. If Ash quits the show, we know to send him to Turkey. Session was going. If I quit the show, I got the 1.8 million. If I quit this show, I got the 1.8, y'all. Just know I'm somewhere in the house just doing my little dance in the mirror with the cash, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just know that. Just know that. Plus, is a gated community as well. Okay. Okay. It's still lit. That's still very lit. Still very lit. Shout out to Yellow D. Pause. Uh, you can buy a lot. Oh, yeah, I know I'm like Ron Burgundy with this, and Yellow, I haven't seen you since my Michigan won. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you pull up on me. This is how you pull up on me. This is what we doing tonight. This is what we doing tonight, huh? You should be worried about your Ohio State guys not wearing no knee pads in practice. Why y'all don't have no knee pads in practice? Y'all need knee pads in practice. None of y'all wear knee pads in practice. But shout out to my dog Yellows though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Yellow. Maria Buckeyes. I've been ducking you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't find an Ohio State fan anywhere after Michigan won. When I go to the barbershop, normally when I go to the barbershop, Ohio State fans everywhere. I go into the barbershop, I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, where everybody at? Like, what happened? My barber started laughing, like, yo, it was loud in here just a week ago. They was telling me, oh, Arizona gonna handle us, all that. I'm like, damn, now we win, it's quiet. Everybody on vacation, all my personal homeboys. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna hit you back, Ash. I'm in Dubai right now, or I'm in Colombia right now. They somewhere. I'm like, damn, everybody going on vacation when we win? That's crazy. Like, damn. So, you feel me? But I appreciate you, as always, Yellow. You know what I mean? Get the FI. I'm dead serious. If you know, you know. Like, everybody been ducking especially them Ohio State fans, ever since Michigan, since we won the championship. If y'all don't know, we won the men's basketball championship. You know what I'm saying? And it was real quiet. They were saying Arizona was going to handle us. We beat them by 30. Then it was like, oh, word. And then like everybody just got low. It was like, damn, I can't find a red shirt nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? Yeah. I hope y'all feel my petty through the. I hope y'all feel my petty through the camera. I hope y'all feel my petty right now. Y'all know I'm petty Pendergrass. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all feel the petty right now. Shout out, Maria. Take care, bro. I'm catching the plane, going to Hawaii. Have a good time, Maria. We appreciate you for tapping in. Proud of your success. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Proud of your success. Thank you, thank you for the love. Yellow laughing. You feel me? Y'all know I'm petty Pendergrass. Y'all know. Y'all know I'm petty. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I was gonna do this, right? You feel me? Alright, y'all. Moving on to our next send them the turkey or nah. Our next send them the turkey or nah. Nia Long has a conversation with Keke Palmer on a podcast. Said that why asking why men just don't eat it and sign. They was referring to men having an intimate conversation with the kitty cat. And sign means the what is it called? The NDA, non-disclosure. So in their conversation, she asks, why can't men just eat it and sign? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending Nia Long to Turkey? Are we sending Nia Long and Keke to Turkey? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type in N not to send it to Turkey. Shout out to Tom. Keke needs to go to the moon. She's a real weirdo. Damn. Shout out to Rowan. Men are not picky if they aren't working for her. Something wrong with her. Ebony, Keke been freaky and Nia been in these streets. Send them all to the moon. Damn, not even to Turkey. He said send them all to the moon. Send her to the cat. Send her cat to Turkey. Straight to Turkey, because that sounds like they letting anyone or everyone put their mouth on that box. Yuck. There was a couple other things they said too, but I have to agree with y'all. I gotta send this to Turkey. This sounds crazy. They were speaking on men signed the NDAs mainly because after men have been with them, they want to speak on it. And it's like, why can't they just come and do their business and leave? I gotta send that to Turkey on multiple levels. It's like, let's keep it real. Neither one of them are in a space and place in life where they don't want to be taken serious. Like, let's just keep it real. Nia Long is an older woman, nice looking woman. She's a nice looking woman. She's cute. She's cute. She's always been cute. But she's not the younger woman anymore. So the fact that she want to be on these streets, okay, be on these streets. But I guarantee you, on these streets, ain't nobody bragging about Nia Long. She cute, she's accomplished, but you're an older woman. You're an older woman. Those are old drawers. The cherry thong that they said that you wear, that's orchid right now. That thing is old. That's old drawers right there. That's not something to brag about. Like, to sign an NDA? What type of dudes y'all messing with if you have to worry about them speaking on it? So that's not something to brag about. Keke, she's cute. She's accomplished. She's an amazing talent. Keke personality is probably on 100 when it comes to acting and just being entertaining, for sure. But Kiki not the type you brag on. That's not no diss to neither one of them. They're not the girls in your neighborhood that you get with them. That if you told your boy, you'd be like, yo, you told them that. That's not. They not. Neither one of them is that. Let's keep this all the way a buck. They cool. They're both cute. They're both accomplished. They both should have somebody, deserve somebody. We all, if we exercise great decision making, we all want somebody. But to want to be outside, most people want to be outside because the men that they like is not liking them like that. It's just that simple. The men that they like, yeah, I'll come through with Netflix and chill. I'll play some Jodeci. I'll play some Jodeci in the background. And we'll have a good time. I don't know the dudes that they messing with. Again, Nia Long, no, this is not a diss. Like, I will put either one of them through the mattress, if not both. But that's not something I'm going to brag about. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, what are they talking about? Eat it and sign? This is very weird. Both of them at places in their life where they should want to be in a situation. Nia Long was just in a situation and left the situation because what? Her husband cheated on her. Hence, right? Keke Palmer. She's single because she let Usher do all the cherries things to her. And her dude or baby father didn't appreciate that. If she didn't do that, there's a better chance that they probably would still be together and she wouldn't be seeking, eating, and leave. Let's keep this shit in perspective here. So when they say that, it sounds goofy, and like I said on the turkey. Shout out to the chat. Chat going in. Chat going hella in. Shout out to Yellow. Straight to turkey because they both sound like the cat. Rowan Jack laughing. Turkey might smell better. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, shout out to Tom. Ashley, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. These chicks eat too much damn seafood and their pH balance be off. Let's be honest. You remember the saying, if I can lick it, I could definitely if I can't lick it, I can definitely ain't sticking it. Yeah, that's from what movie that's from? That's from Jamie Foxx. Oh my God, Booty Call. That's from Booty Call. Yeah, for sure. That's where the saying came from. Yellow, this ain't 1998. Nia. I would have thought Nia was married by now. Geesh. Yeah, she was. Remember, she was married to Ime Udoka. I hope I said his name right. The head coach of the Houston Rockets. And when he had that situation, or when the situation came out about, the possibility or that he did have a sexual relationship with one of like the Boston front office people, one of the women there, that ended their marriage or created that separation. So for sure, don't forget these celebrity dudes are mostly lame, so they probably do pillow talk. But here's my thing, right? If they talk among each other, right, then that's their thing. That's their language. They're supposed to talk. They're supposed to talk. Like, I don't understand why women don't think that men are supposed to talk. You're supposed to talk. You don't go out and broadcast. There's a difference between broadcasting and talking. And the reason why guys are supposed to, you can avoid situations like multiple artists and NBA players and NFL players share the same baby mother. Like, how do you do that? How do you have a baby with an NBA player, a rapper, and an NFL player? So guys need to talk to stay away from each other's baby mothers. That's a part of it. You look ridiculous when that happens. You know how terrible it would look. And this is not no diss to the guys I'm about to say. I'm just using their name as an example. But I wouldn't feel exclusive if my baby mother had a child with myself. Again, I'm just saying these names for examples. LaMelo Ball and Saquon Barkley. You know how I would look like an idiot. I would look like an idiot if I came behind those guys or those guys came behind me and still had a baby with the woman that already had like my child. It's like that's just crazy talk. Just like how women are supposed to talk in a sense where it's like you don't want to be dealing with a dude if he got so much going on outside of you. So everybody's supposed to somewhat communicate. You don't have to broadcast it, but you got to communicate to avoid looking stupid. Like that's crazy. So yeah, I'm not No, I missed that one. Ashley, I'm not touching either one of them. Kiki talks too much, and Nia Long act like her her love box don't stink, and it does. When you cheat on a bad bee, when you sleep on one of the baddest women on the planet, that lets you know something about their thing. See, here's my thing regarding that, and I hope women understand and listen to this. It doesn't matter how cute you think you are. It doesn't matter how bad you are or how bad you think you are. It's gonna go down if he wanted to go down. It happened to everybody who everybody think is bad. Halle Berry been treated on, and I'm saying Halle Berry not just as an example because she's top tier. She's top tier. Top tier. Pam Grier has been cheated on. Several of our women who are top tier, considered top tier, have been cheated on. I'm pretty sure if you ask Beyonce in her past, she's been cheated on, or Kelly Rowland in her past have been cheated on. Megan Good, her in her past, but every woman who's bad or thinks she's bad or whatever the case may be, all have been cheated on. You cannot prevent it. Can't prevent that. All of them been cheated on. So at the end of the day, like when she said this, like when Nia Long said this, I'm like again, there's no diss. Ain't nobody bragging on that, boo. Ain't nobody bragging on that. Again, you can still get put through the mattress straight up, but that's not something to brag on. Like you're an older version. Like you know what I'm saying. It's not Boys in the Hood time. It's not 91, 92. You know what I mean? Like let's keep this shit in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Leaf in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. My brother hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Leaf in the building, y'all. Shout out to my cousin. Make sure y'all tap in to my cousin Leaf. He does the Brooklyn Nets podcast, which is lit. So make sure y'all tap into him. The Kansas City Chiefs got cheated on by Taylor Swift. Yo, chill. Roll it, man. Come on, man. Yo, you stupid. But yeah, like I can't jack with what neither one of them saying. And then they go on to say this. Kiki Palmer also asks in the same conversation, why can't we have consistent sneaky links? So again, my next question, who have you been dealing with, boo? Who you been dealing with as a consistent sneaky link that can't come through, put you through the mattress, and just continue to be a sneaky link? I don't Which did she grow up? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying this maybe because I have a skewed point of view because I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in New York, and if you know, you know. It's in New York is real sneaky. You know what I'm saying? It's real sneaky, Kiki. You know what I mean? So it's like who are the dudes you've been dealing with where you're asking the question, why can't you have a consistent sneaky link? I had a sneaky link for a long time. I ain't never talked about it, and I still haven't said a name or nothing like that, and I'm not going to. It just is what it is. But again, when you come from a culture that understands that, it makes me think, and you're a celebrity, you're popping, who are you talking to? What type of dudes are you surrounding yourself where you have to even ask the question if you could have a long-term sneaky link? Damn, That's an indictment on who you surrounding yourself, and that's on you because of the decision making on who you decide to surround yourself around. The next thing they talked about, and I had to add to this before I move on, is Nia Long also was just wondering like why men can't just stay consistent in getting to know her, and she wants to be sent flowers. She wants to get courted. But in the same breath, on the breath before that, you wanted to be outside. You just said, why can't dudes just eat it and sign it? And then she bragged on that she was outside in the 90s, going back to when she was like young and popping. She said, hey, yo, I was outside. I was in them New York clubs. And if she was in them New York clubs in the 90s, she was getting put through the mattress. Not by guys that she know, by randos. New York City, like, we got a strong mouthpiece. Like, we know how to talk. So she was getting put through the mattress. So again, if you want a guy to take you serious, to send you flowers, he's not doing that off sneaky link time. He's not doing that off pound town time. For a guy to send you flowers is a guy that's going to take you serious. Now, for a guy to take you serious, he hear that you've been going to Pound Town, getting Pound Town by randos in the 90s. What make you think you wasn't doing that in the 2000s? So this is what he's settling with? And he has to be popping? Dog. Can we stop the straight delusion? Pick a struggle and run with it. If you want to get took into Pound Town, if you want to do that one thing, cool. Sign up for it. Stay there. But you can't want that and then want to be wifed up. Like what? And you too old to not know the game. You know the game. You've been around millionaires. You've been around celebrities. You've been around billionaires. And this is what we talking about. In the midst of dropping a Michael Jackson movie, which is the most iconic artist of all time. You can't make this shit up, y'all. Can't make this up. Sneaky Kiki, that name will stick. I didn't even mean to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? I said Sneaky Kiki. I didn't even mean to do it like that, but it do got a catchy tick to it. Nia wrong, but y'all get the point that I'm making. Like at the end of the day, like it sounds conflicting, and it just doesn't make sense. It's either you want to go to Pound Town or you want to be taken serious. So your actions have actions. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know the time is here, and it's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Make sure you hit the likes, hit them 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13. So continue to show that love. Tap into the membership portion of this page because take advantage of those memberships. We got dope memberships, and you'll be blown away once you get them. So, again, make sure y'all tap in to those memberships. All right, y'all. First, hot topic in Time to Rap. Actress Tracee Ellis Ross says that a marriage license should expire every 4 to 5 years so we can decide to renew. Again, actor or actress Tracee Ellis Ross says a marriage license should expire every 4 to 5 years so that way we have a chance to or decide to renew. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to hear what y'all think about this. Me personally, this lady is like, she's delusional. She's crazy. She's crazy. And I'm saying that respectfully. I'm being nice when I say that. In the vows, richer or poorer, death do us part. It don't say for sickness and health, 4 to 5 years. It don't say that. And this is what people not realizing. There's two sides to marriage. One side is the facade of love. The second side is the business. Now, I gotta be honest with you, ladies. Men, we marry your ass out of two reasons. One, loyalty. What do that mean? Like, you've been loyal to us. You've been down with us from day one. You've been rocking with us when we didn't have nothing. Now that we got something, we feel like we kind of got to, because you've been loyal, and that counts. So with that loyalty, you gain our love. Doesn't have to be in love, but you gain our love. Meaning, and I love this line in the movie Fences by Denzel Washington. You don't worry if I like you or not. You worry if I'm doing right by you. So in men's eyes, doing right by you is showing you love, loyalty. Secondly, we glutton for punishment. We could dead ass be in love with you, and we a little late to the party, but we get in love with our woman for sure. But to say this, every 4 or 5 years, why get married? Why not be somebody's girl for the next 4 or 5 years? Why do you worry about the marriage tag if you're worried about deciding to renew? That doesn't make any sense. Sounds like, again, another delusional person that wants both, where somebody wants to go to Pound Town, wants to be treated like a whore, but at the same time wants to be courted. Where they do that at? And why that matters is because that's different from you being with your man and being a whole whore in the bedroom and being a lady in the streets. That's different from wanting attention from multiple men and say eat it and leave, or I want to go to Pound Town, I want things to keep quiet, and then you want to get flowers sent to you. Every 4 to 5 years, when it comes to marriage, people don't get married for 4 or 5 years. They get married to secure a lifetime. And sometimes people don't make it 4 or 5 years. Some people don't make it a whole year being married, even though they've been together for a long period of time. But the intention was to be together forever. So going into a marriage that's supposed to be forever and automatically saying, all right, well, we give it 4 to 5 years. Instead of giving it your all. So the fact that she's even suggesting this is crazy and delusional. There is no benefit for marriage for men. You hear like the real old school guys like, yeah, no, it benefited me and this, that, and the third. Like, yeah, nah, dog, we live in a different day and age. These are not the 80s and the 90s. In the 80s and 90s, you realize there's a lot of stepmothers and stepfathers where there was kids already produced and they met somebody new and they still loved on them and still want to have an extended family with them because they brought something to the table, not just their presence, but an energy and a forever mentality. But if you're bringing a 4 to 5 year mentality, and mind you, Tracy Ellis Ross, again, there's no disrespect. Like, you're not a spring chicken. You're an older woman. Like, what are we talking about here? What type of energy are you putting out for even the younger women when they hear this? This is not a great option. This is not a happy medium. When you're talking about marriage represents forever. You going against what they talking about even in the damn Bible. So what are we talking about? So I that's just crazy to me. So I don't agree with her at all. And shout out to the chat. Shout out to Ebony. Shaking my head at this point. These celebrities do it to themselves. I have to agree. Because this sounds crazy. And mind you, like, Tracy Ellis Ross is a nice looking woman. She's always looked nice. But nobody has taken her serious. Now, she could get out and say, well, I could have been married several times, but you're not. You haven't. So what are we talking about? You can't get married If you haven't been married, if you're a woman, you can't marry yourself. So for whatever reason that it didn't go through, whether it was you or him, the bottom line is still the bottom line. And then when you come out and say this, further tells on yourself, and it sounds crazy. So yeah, I'm not jacking this at all, at all. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to rap. Nike shoes have been going down in sales, and they're blaming the NBA players for not being as popular and as famous on the decline of the shoe sales in the shoes or sneaker world as far as sales. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat as far as Nike declining in sales. People are not buying as many tennis shoes or sneakers because of basketball players not being as popular. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. He said marketing is to blame. Marketing is blaming the customers. That's a good way. I like that answer. I like that answer. You're taking the negative and trying to turn the negative into another positive or into a positive, right? Now, two things can be said. This NBA, we don't have the popularity of a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, a Allen Iverson, Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, but we have new stars. We have new stars. There's somebody by the name of LeBron James who's been in the league for the last 20 years. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, who's only revolutionized the game in shooting and being the best shooter of all time, and everybody and their mother think they could shoot now. Kyrie Irving is probably the most sensational basketball player on the way he makes it look, with the technique, with the bag work. Ant-Man is like baby Jordan. So you have stars. Nikola Jokic, he's a walking bucket. You know, mind you, he don't even jump 2 feet off the ground. Wimbiana is the 7'4" alien. I mean, like, come on. Like, for them to say this, it's a cop-out. Let's keep this a spade a spade. One, Nike, I have to be honest, outside of Jordan, and maybe a few other patents, Jordan, Penny, Chris Webber patent, couple of KDs was fly, Kobe's had some cold ones with y'all, but by and large, y'all sneaker design is ass. I just have to be honest. In the 90s, you had guys like Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway, Jason Kidd, Dennis Rodman, all great players, all of them. But they was out at a time where Michael Jordan was a phenom in selling sneakers, and a phenom on the court. Allen Iverson, phenom on the court, phenom in selling sneakers. Grant Hill selling Filas, and them joints was going on, especially them Grant Hill tools. Dog. Bottom line, and the reason why I said those earlier names before, Tim Hardaway is not Michael Jordan in name and in game, but he has some fire sneakers. Same thing with Mitch Richmond. Same thing with Dennis Rodman, Jason Kidd, Chris Webber. They all had fire design of sneakers. And they set themselves apart by the design. It wasn't because they was popular. It's because it was fire. Michael Jordan's is fire because it's a lifestyle brand. Mainly because when you look at the Jordans, you can wear them with anything. They not necessarily designed for you to wear them on the court. I grew up buying Michael Jordans to wear to school. When I bought Michael Jordans, and when I was coming up, I didn't play sports in them. Like, what? These are for school. It ain't for, run what? I ain't running nothing. It's the type of sneaker that it always look good. That's why you have been having decline of sales. It's not because the players are not as popular. If they're not as popular, they're probably even more popular because you have social media. You have way more ways to market and popularize the sneaker. It's just that the design is ass. It's ass. They're not great designs. When you see a lot of half of LeBron James' shoe collection is terrible. Half of it, because the designs are terrible. You got some nice looking LeBron James, and you got some terrible looking ass LeBron James. But again, he's going to go down arguably top 5, depending on who you talk to. I can't take anybody's NBA list if LeBron James is not in your top 5, at bare minimum top 10. If he's not in your top 10, I can't take your NBA list serious. But when we talk about selling sneakers, the designs are not always great. His sneakers are hit and miss. And these other sneakers that you have with other players, it's not because they're not popular. It's just that this shit is ass. So we got to, again, we got to keep this in perspective, yo. Like, to blame the players is nasty work, in my opinion. It's just that these designs are terrible. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Nike can sponsor soldiers. Oakley needs competition. Oakley makes an awesome combat boot. Shout out to Tom. I knew you was gonna say Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway has some fire kicks. Was it nothing like Bo Jackson's cross trainers? I had about 6 different pairs of Bo Jackson cross trainer sneakers. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, they had legit fire looking sneakers, right? Because the designs was fire. Charles Barkley, the Barkleys, the design of the Barkleys is fire. It's not because Charles Barkley wasn't even marketable like that in the 90s. He used to come out and say, yo, I'm not your kid's role model, yo. Don't have them look up to me. I'm not a role model, yo. He said this. And they still gave him sneakers. And they still sold out. Because of the design of the sneaker. Mind you, he was balling, but the design of the sneaker was fire. What are we talking about? Patrick Ewing. He's in one of the biggest markets in the world, New York City. And them sneakers still sold, but let's keep it real. The Patrick Ewings, they were ass. They sold because they was in New York and it's a big market. Yeah. But they was ass. If they was nice to look at sneakers, it would have went through the roof because it's New York City. And Patrick Ewing was the man in New York. So like let's keep it a buck. Penny Hardaway, that was a sneaker. That was my sneaker. I was always a top 10 Adidas type of guy anyway. Adidas has a biopic. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's these designs. These designs don't make sense. If they gave Victor Wembanyama a fire sneaker, it would sell like hotcakes. Because he's a great player and he's popular. Like, what are we talking about? If they gave Jalen Brunson, a guy that's in New York for the New York Knicks, if they gave him a fire-looking sneaker, it would sell like hotcakes. What are we talking about? If they gave a guy like Luka a fire sneaker, it would sell like hotcakes. Like, we live in a world in the NBA where international players are here, and it matters. And if you want to talk about American-born, LaMelo Ball is balling out. He got the, I don't know if he got the Big Baller brand anymore, but if he had a fire-looking sneaker, they would sell like hotcakes. Ant-Man. His sneakers are not terrible, but they not a great design shoe. If they was better looking, them sneakers would go crazy. The only sneakers that really sell for real, and it's mainly because of the design. I'm not necessarily crazy about it, but I'm not going to diss it for real neither. But because of the design, the Ja Morants go crazy. Like let's keep it real. It's about that design. So your design team has to do better. Has to do better. If it does better, it will do better in sales. It's not because of the NBA players is less popular. Because if anything else, they're more popular. So they need to cut that out. Adidas had by pick. Yeah. Rowan, I almost read that. I almost read that, bro. I almost read that. Nia plus Kiki Nike. Yo, you is stupid, dog. Yo, that is funny. Nia plus Kiki Nike. Yo, that is crazy. Nia plus Kiki equal Nike. That is crazy. Shout out to my dog Tom. Ashley, I got a pair of Caitlin Clark's Kobe's. I ain't mad at that. If the sneaker look good, it looks good. I ain't gonna hold you. If it look good, it look good. And honestly, the brand matters, but it don't matter. I got several Reeboks in my closet right now. Iverson questions in different colors and different flavors. I got plenty of Filas in my closet right now. Grand Hills, the with the patent leather blue streak, and I got a couple of Lowe's different flavors. Of course, I got Jordans galore in different flavors. I got a whole bunch of Ralph Lauren sneakers. I got boots, straight boots. You know what I mean? Ralph Lauren boots. But the point that I'm making is, if it looks good, people are going to buy it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Like one of my favorite players in the world, which is Stephon Marbury. Not one of my favorite players. He is my favorite NBA player of all time. I'm glad that he came out with the Starberries because it suited a need for the actual community and what it was designed for, right? But I hated it because they was a terrible looking shoe. They were terrible. And I wanted nothing more but to buy them. But they was just terrible looking. And if they looked good, I would have bought several pairs. Not even just for the price, but even if they was $120 or $150, I would have bought several pairs. It just, to me, it didn't look good. It wasn't a good looking shoe. But it serviced the community in a way that it needed to service the community at the time. He's the only player, that sneaker that wanted to win so bad because I'm such a fan of Stephon Marbury. Still such a fan of Stephon Marbury. But y'all get the point that I'm making. So if the sneaker looks good, people will buy it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. The Deion Sanders haven't played a down in the NFL in 30 years? And his sneakers still sell. Like, what are we talking about? Bo Jackson haven't played in the NFL longer than that. They drop some new colors of the cross trainers, they're going to sell. Like, what are we talking about? If it looks good, people are going to buy it. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Quick shout out to Tom. Them Caitlin Clark's classic white Reeboks, low cut 40 below. Adidas top 10 black on white. Jordan number 4s, Lacoste gear, old school clacks. Yeah, I mean, some fire sneakers, man. If it look good, people are gonna buy it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Moving on to our next hot topic. Houston police has relieved police officer Ashley Gonzalez. Excuse me. Houston police Ashley Gonzalez have been relieved of duty after racist comment and not comment, but her racist rant posted on Instagram. But she did it in her close friends group. But she had made a rant posting on her Instagram, super racist, calling the culture the N-word, calling us chimps, and just being super duper reckless in her speech regarding policing the culture. And she basically said the next cultured person that she has to deal with on her job, they're going to jail. And kind of making fun of the fact, using the N-word, and she's is known to be Mexican or somewhat Latin descent. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Shout out to Rowan Jack. You are right, Ash. If you have a pair of knickers, you're not allowed to get anyone you know. Kaylin Clark. Okay, so I got that one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you don't got nice kicks, man, like people not gonna support it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You don't got nice looking sneakers, people not gonna support it. But let me know what y'all think about this. Again, Houston police officer Ashley Gonzalez has been relieved of duty after racist rant posted on Instagram in her close friends group, calling the culture brothers and sisters chimps, N-words, and basically the next culture person that she has to deal with, they're going to jail no matter what. She was super reckless using the N-word repeatedly, and obviously it wasn't in good measure. And some people say she was using a hard ER at the end. If you're not a part of the culture, don't use obviously the hard the ER or the A. You're not supposed to use it. Period. Point blank. I don't understand why we still having this dumbass conversation. Secondly, this lady's an idiot. She's an idiot. And just to show you how much of an idiot she is, she does this in her close friends group. Somebody in your close friends group think you're an idiot and a bigot. So they taped you and then released this information to the public and to the powers that be at Houston PD. You're an idiot. One, you don't love yourself. That's screaming heavenly. By looking at how she looks, she doesn't love herself. So that's why a part of that is projecting that negative energy and that negative space onto a whole culture. You don't love yourself. You don't value yourself. You're not at where you want to be in life. Let's keep it honest. And then that goes to show the type of people that you're around. Because if you're around people that allow that, that goes to show about their character. Because just because she's Mexican doesn't mean she speaks for all Mexican people. Now, it has been contention amongst the culture and Mexicans in certain parts of the world, for sure. For sure. But let's undress this shit, yo. Doesn't speak for everybody, but the people that she was speaking for and representing in her culture is a very real thing on how they see us. You see us this way, but you use the lingo. And then you use the lingo as on one part, if you're around a whole bunch of brothers, yeah, nah, it's nothing but love. But when you're not a whole bunch of brothers and you feel like you're in a power or a place of power, oh yeah, it's the hard ER. It's like, yeah, it ain't love, it's hate. That's all projection and hatred and jealousy. Because like, to keep it a buck with you, like, you don't project that type of hate and energy onto people that you don't have envy towards. Like if I don't think about you, if I don't have no jealousy towards you, no disdain for you, I'm not worried about what you do as a culture. I'm worried about what I'm doing over here with my culture. And what I'm doing over here with my culture don't have nothing to do with you over there with yours. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show your culture respect just based on human decency. The same respect I give to my own culture. But because we're humans first, if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. And an asshole is not depicted on a culture. We get them in all cultures, in all different aspects and race. So the fact that she spoke on it so easily on her Instagram live in her close friends group, let you know that, again, you're not as well liked as you think you are. That's one. Two, you don't like yourself. Because for you to project that type of energy onto a whole culture is crazy. But I get it. I get it. She looks the way that she looked, which is not very appealing to the eye. So there's a self-hatred in that in itself, hating what you look in the mirror. And once you hate what you look into the mirror, you embody that in your energy. You embody that in your actions. You embody that when you speak to other people. Because guess what? Hurt people hurt people. And it's not just a Mexican, I wouldn't say a Mexican, but an individual based thing with her being Mexican onto us as the culture. But she probably does that to other people within her culture and her subculture, because she hate herself. Like, I don't want to make this a thing where it's Mexicans versus the culture, because this is an individual speaking on it. This is not a whole bunch of Mexicans coming out and say, yeah, she right. But what I do want to see a whole bunch of Mexicans come out and do say, yeah, we don't jack with what she talking about. This is not what we on. She's not a representation of that. Because one thing I can say about for the culture is when we not jacking what somebody from the culture is saying, yo, we have no problem saying it. We get on social media. We talk to our people. Hey, you heard what somebody from our culture said? They said this, and we have no problem airing them the fuck out. But in other cultures, or some other cultures, it's like, y'all keep quiet. If you keep quiet, then you jack it. So if you don't jack it, then address it. Like, yeah, like, this young lady's an idiot. This is not what our culture represents. This is not what we think. It was a guy that I worked with a long time ago, before I got into music. And he was a Mexican dude. And I ain't gonna hold you. He was like, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga. And he didn't use that towards me. He used that towards somebody else that happened to be Mexican. And I said, hey, yo, man, I'm offended you using that word. You're not a brother, so don't use that word. He was like, nah, like, I'm a part of the culture. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, yo, like, all my friends is brothers, so I've been raised around that. I'm like, so what do that mean? That don't give you a right to use the word. He was like, yeah, but because I see myself a part of the culture, and my friends see me a part of the culture, and I respect the culture, so I don't. So he said, I don't separate myself from you or from anybody else that happen to be brothers. And I said, okay, I can respect that, but don't use that around me. Don't use that around me. And he agreed not to use that word around me. Or he agreed to not to use that word around me. Yeah, he agreed not to use that word around me. So there's a difference if you do see yourself a part of the culture, meaning that your lineage is foundational or African or Caribbean. Okay, cool. You don't differentiate yourself from us and from anything else regarding us to use that word. So for her, yeah, like these niggas and chimps, and I can't stand the chimp, and using it so comfortably, I'm glad she was relieved of duty. Because now how can you do your job properly? She just said the next person that she comes in contact that happens to be a brother is going to jail. How can you police properly? Being a police officer is damn near like being a doctor. It's damn near like being a lawyer. And what that means is that you have to remove your prejudice to do your best performance. If you're a doctor, if somebody is sick, you can't be like, oh, they a brother? Oh yeah, I can't perform on them. Nah. But they about to lose their life, doctor. If you work on them, they could, yeah, but they a brother. You can't be a doctor like that. Same thing like policing. You can't police with a prejudice. If you're policing with a prejudice, then guess what? You're not being effective. Because the very same people can end your life. Yeah, I'm not going to police them properly, but I'm going to police you properly. But they'd be the people that take your life. That's like a white cop saying, hey, yeah, I'm not going to police other white people properly, but I'm going to police the brothers properly. Have you did the research? There's more white people in jail than than brothers. So obviously, to your own understanding, you will get unalive in your own community before a brother would even touch you. So if you're policing with the prejudice, then you could lose your life. Can't police with a prejudice, can't doctor with a prejudice, can't be somebody's lawyer with a prejudice. So I'm glad she was relieved of duty. She's stupid as hell. Stupid. And there's no space in place for a young lady like that. There's no space in place. I, I'm just gonna say I'm glad she lost her job. I'm glad she lost her job. Again, her name is Ashley Gonzalez, and the locals still should continue to hear the outrage, because she should never get a chance to be reinstated as a police officer anywhere, not just Houston PD, but San Antonio PD, Austin PD, Dallas PD, NYPD. She shouldn't be a cop anywhere. I don't care how much training she get after this. Mind you, she said this on her Instagram live in her close friends sector, in her close friends group. And one of her close friends taped her stupid ass and released it. Because even then, it's still, they knew, like, this is wrong. She's an idiot. And it's just so crazy. We in 2026 and we still dealing with the same dumbass issues when it comes to racism. And you would think that because of the subgenres of music and sports bring people closer together than anything. I grew up playing sports. I grew up boxing. I grew up playing football and basketball. So I had several of teammates from all different walks of life. And because we bled, sweat, and tears together, and we fought together, we wore the same. We represented the same place, the same school. It wasn't about that shit. It was a much bigger purpose, and we looked at each other like human beings, yo. And we still fighting this same dumbass fight from ignorant ass people who don't like themselves, that project that energy onto other people. If you don't rock with it and you from her country, you from her culture, then y'all need to speak out against that shit. Seriously, that same thing how I say about bad police officers. Yo, police officers, if you not jacking a bad police officer, speak against it. If you a brother and you ain't jacking what a brother's saying, we don't got no problem speaking about that in our community. Same thing with white folks. Same thing with other cultures. If y'all don't jack what somebody's doing, speak against that shit. It's the same dumbass thing that we continue to deal with every single day, and we live in 2026. Crazy work. Shout out to the chat. Y'all been going in the chat. Shout out to my dog Roman Jack. He just gifted the chat, man. 5 memberships. Again, thank you to my dog Roman Jack, one of our longest holding member. He had his own bag for over 2 years. And again, thank you, Roman Jack. Shout out to Blood in the building. Shout out to Minaj in the building. Shout out to Nasaki, Butterscotch, and Charles in the building. Y'all got some new memberships. So we got new badge holders in the building, man. Appreciate you for that, Rowan Jack. Shout out to my dog fam in the building. What's up, my brother? All power to the people. Appreciate my dog fam in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Ruin 12, my dog. Yo, I'm late. Appreciate you for tapping in, Ruin 12, man. There's so many layers to this. Wow. She needs to lose her job for good, for sure. Shout out to Rowan 12. Been busy, Ash. It's all good. We appreciate you for tuning and tapping in, my brother. You already know the business, man. But yeah, the lady name is Ashley Gonzalez. Again, Houston PD. She's a whole idiot. And again, I understand the fact that she has self-hatred based on the way she looked, man. She's a terrible looking woman. And when people don't like themselves, they project that shit not only onto other cultures, but to the people in their day-to-day. Her body stink. Her kitty cats, everything about her just funky, bro. She don't like herself. She don't like her life. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to Ruin 12. Shake some for once. Yo, you stupid. Shout out to Roll 12. He just gifted the chat. He just sent a super chat, man. Appreciate my dog Rolling 12. One of our mods too. So y'all make sure y'all talk to me nice in the comments. All right, so moving on to our next hot topic in time to rap. Question, question, question. Have men freed themselves from social oppression? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Have men freed themselves from social oppression? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. The reason why that's tonight's question is because all through social media, you've been seeing just people, or just the space and place where men have become indifferent in the dating scene. Men have become indifferent in the family scene. So that's why I'm asking the question: have we become freed, or have they freed themselves from societal oppression? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I believe so. I believe so. I believe that this is the first time in history that we've seen a culture of men, and us as men, valuing ourselves as much as we value our family and the women that we love, and not prioritizing them first always. I think this is the first time. And a lot of our elders, a lot of our grandfathers, a lot of our great grandfathers and big uncles, their motto was happy life, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life, right? And that used to be their motto. In this day and age, because of the economy, everybody looks at things, especially due to COVID, as transactional. And it's not just a financial aspect of it, it's a time aspect of it. Because when you do the math as a man, right, by the time we understand what 18 to 21 looks like by getting our education, we realize that's still not enough money when we start out to get everything that we need to make sure that everybody else is secure. So now that we deal with that and understand that we got to take care of family, household, we got to take care of our women, we got to take care of our kids, what is there left for us? And because we're seeing the value of what society has on men, meaning when we share our assets and then now we get divorced and we're left with 30% and somebody else is left with 70%, it's like we did all that for what? We had the wedding for what? We did, I'm missing the word right now, but we did all these things for what financially? Because men, we don't mind paying if we have our family, if we have our woman. But at the end of the tunnel, we at least want loyalty. We at least want to be loved and appreciated. And if we don't feel that at that aspect, and then you look at today's age and page, where our time is currency. So we no longer waste time. We look at our time as currency. We no longer look at currency as currency. We look at time. So now, if we don't get to a place where we're appreciated and we're celebrated, then we wasted our time. And before you know it, half our life is gone. Before you know it, a man is 50. Like, damn, what happened to the time? Your grown kids don't check on you. You don't have the same relationship with your woman. The rest of your family, everybody's doing their own thing. So this is the first time in history that we've seen men prioritize ourselves first, because just like anybody, man or woman, if we don't take care of us as individuals first, and this is with any and everybody. If you don't take care of you as an individual first, you can't take care of nothing else. So it used to kill me when I hear parents say, well, as long as my kids look good, then I look good. How? How? If you don't take care of your mental health, your kid is not doing good, no matter how they look. It's shit on top of shit. So when you think about that, if the mental aspect is not together, and men seem to really put a stress on the mental aspect in today's age of space, unlike the men before, where they was, passed away unhappy, mental space was terrible, but their only like thing that they could bank on is that they get to see their kids follow their dreams. And that's not right neither, because guess what? Kids ain't asked to be born, but your parents ain't asked to be born either. Just because they know better, you as a kid you can't say my parents know better and they was all my ass all my life to make better decisions, but I get to make my decisions. I get to make my mistakes, and then turn around and be like, I didn't ask to be here. Nobody did. So at the end of the day, this is the first time we've seen men take a real page and space to say, yo, we got to take care of ourselves. Then we can take care of all the other shit. Let me take a look at this chat. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to fam. Ebony, yes, because all these years society taught men to take care of everybody else first and only. Okay, I like that. I like that. Shout out to Rowan Jack. No, we need to embrace our toxic masculinity. It's America. Shout out to fam. Oakland Library is going to interview my granddad because he would be 107 years old May 3rd. Wow, that's crazy. That's fire. That's 107. Damn. That's lit. That's lit. I think I'm gonna be an old man somewhere. I do. I do. I think I'm gonna be an old man somewhere myself. Uh Dan fam. He's nearly Bibbo Baggins' age. He got a golf ring. He never lets it. He lets it go. Yeah, I gotta look up. I gotta look up that name. I heard that name before, but I'm not familiar with that name. I know that name when I hear it, but I don't. I can't picture the person. He said Bebo Baggins. That's funny though. Yeah, but y'all get what I'm saying though. It's like this is like the first time we've seen as a culture of men that we like, yo, like yeah, nah. We matter. What we want matter. How we have it matter. We are valuable. We create our own finances, and we should get to dictate our life. Like to be honest with you, if I know you as a man, meaning like as a friend, like you know what I mean. I don't keep friends around me that happen to be dudes that don't control their life. We're cool from a distance if you don't control your life. As a man, you should be able to control your life. And what do that mean? That means you should not be in fear in communicating with your family. You should not be in fear of living your life. You should not be in fear of getting information for your children to make a better tomorrow for your children. You should not be in fear. I run a couple businesses myself, and it's funny, every tax season, I tell, some of the guys, hey, you need your children's social security and date of birth. And they like, yeah, their mother got it. Why they got it and why you don't have it? Why? And then I have to every year have to speak to ex-wife or baby mother on how certain things in taxes, how they work. Because they don't believe the father, the men. You already gave him the ultimate form of submission, but he can't get the child's social security number and date of birth unless you speak to somebody like that, which is crazy. So men that don't are not in control of their actions and they can't control their outcomes, I don't keep them around me. I don't view you as a real man because you can't have the hard conversation and be resolution based with the people that's supposed to love and care for you. Your feelings do matter. If you need a piece of paper to control when you can see your children, bro, you don't control your life. If you have to worry about every paycheck you get somebody coming in to take your money, or you have to go to court, you don't control your life. So be very aware of the moves that you make in your own space, in your family space, in your personal space. So this is the first time in history that we seeing men really standing up and saying, yo, the type of woman that I want, yo, it matters. And I'm not going to be accepting this. The type of work that I do, it matters. My mental health, it's everything. Because without your mental health, you can't do none of this. So I agree with my own question, meaning like this is the first time in society that we've seen men basically free themselves of societal pressures, so I definitely agree with that. Shout out to the chat. Bebo Baggins is the title character of a protagonist of J.R.R. Tolkien's 1937 novel The Hobbit, and a major supporting character in its sequel, The Lord of the Rings. Oh, okay. See, I never watched Lord of the Rings. I never watched it. Never watched it. I never saw Lord of the Rings. Oh, okay. Yo, fam, my nerd. And I'm a reader too. But I've never seen the movie and I've never read the books of Lord of the Rings. I'm a reader because I grew up in the space in the era. It sounds old now, but I grew up to the encyclopedias. And if you know, you know. Before social media, before people Google stuff, there was a thing called the encyclopedias. And you had to get an encyclopedia to get the actual information. You know what I'm saying? And we had volumes in the house. You know what I'm saying? We had like A through D. We had like J to like Q, and then we had like T to like Z. You know what I'm saying? And with the brothers, we ain't gonna have the whole value. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a couple missing. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, my cousins live right next door, and they had, you know what I'm saying, the missing volumes. You know what I'm saying? So we worked it out. But yeah, I grew up as a reader. You know what I mean? So, but I've never seen Lord of the Rings though. I've never read the books. Okay. Appreciate that. Yo, he broke that down. Like, he made that real easy and effortless. Yo, shout out to my dog fan. All right, so moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Wrap. Will restaurants go away from DoorDash? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, will restaurants go away from DoorDash? Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to hear your thoughts and views on that as well. DoorDash, well, there's a restaurant owner that his video has gone viral, and he pretty much said that DoorDash is basically a restaurant all on itself. All they do is pick up and deliver. But the reason why I asked, will restaurants go away from DoorDash, is because it leaves a bad taste or a bad view to restaurants when DoorDash is not on their job. When they're dropping the food off and the bag is all over the place, but at the restaurant they put it together nicely. Or the food is cold as hell, but the food was been sitting out for the last 45 minutes waiting for a DoorDasher to pick it up and take it to the home. And on top of that, if you order from DoorDash, the food is normally 20 to 30% higher than you actually calling and picking it up directly through the restaurant or just going to the restaurant. So will restaurants go away from DoorDash and not see the value because of these things that hurt their restaurant, because it leaves a bad look on their restaurant? So I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, shout out to the chat. What do you say? Delivery fees are insane. Tips will suffer. Yeah. I remember not too long ago, 2 months I had to depend on a go kart or shop cart, some cart. And I didn't even think nothing of it because Progressive took like 2 months to fix my car. And so that whole 2 months I had to depend on, like, Gold Card or whatever it's called or whatever. And then when I start, when I finally got my car fixed and, whatever, after the investigation, and I start going directly, I'm like, yo, it was way more. Look, I didn't even peep. I didn't even think nothing of it until I started going back. So what he's saying makes a whole lot of sense. That one, it's more expensive. Two, you're not getting the best of the food or the quality, because if they're late or if they're mishandling your stuff, then it makes a bad look on the restaurant in particular, right? So I wonder if enough restaurants is going to see to get away from that and see the value in not dealing with them any longer. Because I know most people deal with, these services and DoorDash because of convenience. That's all that is. You want to go home, you want to take a shower. By the time you get out the shower, you got the meal that you wanted to get, and that was your way of avoiding traffic to get home and all that, right? It's all out of convenience, right? So I get that in particular. But if you're getting a lesser product, would we be better off going back to some of the old system by calling ahead and picking our own stuff up, or just going to the restaurant all in itself, and it's going to be cheaper? So would that be even better? A shout out to Fam Instacart. Yes, it was Instacart. Yes, Rowan Jack and Fam. Yes, it was Instacart. Yes, it was Instacart. Yes. It was Instacart. Yes. Instacart for sure. It was Instacart. Instacart. I didn't realize they was charging me. Like, I knew they would charge me for, gas and stuff like that, but like it was different. I'm like, yo, all that whole 2 months, that's what I was spending. Yo, yo, that's crazy. So, will we see the difference in that? Me personally, I'm not sure. I think they're going to find a way to try to make it better before they get rid of it all completely. Because it's still business at the end of the day. That's still a form of business where people will order and don't want to pick it up, right? But then they used to have delivery services at these restaurants, right? So it's like, what happened to your delivery service? It should be up to the restaurant to hire delivery people to deliver the food instead of Instacart, which the delivery service or the restaurant could do instead of hiring Instacart. So there's two folds to that conversation. Restaurants don't have to use Instacart. They can have their own drivers, their own people, right? So I think that's also an aspect worth looking into. If Instacart is affecting your bottom line by leaving a negative review, because what's the purpose of using Instacart or any of these brands, or food, what I say earlier, or DoorDash? What's the purpose of using it if the service is not good? If your food is all over the place in a bag, or if it's cold, that's not a good experience, and it doesn't make you want to order more. So, and it's more expensive. So, I think it would be a benefit to kind of go back to the restaurants having their own delivery service, or just going back to pick it up. Eardrum delivery. Now, if they start doing eardrum deliveries, that's going to be a hot mess. That's going to be a hot mess. Can you imagine eardrum deliveries? Like, yo, where my delivery? Some Victor Wembanyama dude 7'5" then took your McDonald's bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be a whole hot mess. Whole hot mess. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Y'all been super interactive, man. I appreciate y'all each and every episode, man. For real. But yeah, I think they should think about going away from DoorDash and Instacart and all these other places if they don't do it properly. Like, even when I ordered Instacart, I had to put in special directions how I want my stuff, because one idiot person put like my fruits, cold fruits by the way, in the same bag as like hot food. It's like, yo, what, like, so I had to put in the directions cold with cold food and hot with hot. I was so glad when I got my car back. I swear to God. Swear to you, man. It was terrible. Alright, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Wrap. NBA playoffs is going down. It's getting crazy and it's getting interesting. The Magics played the Pistons tonight. Let me check up on the game real quick. Check on the scores. So we have the Magics losing to the Pistons, making the series 1-1. I was actually surprised that the Magics beat the Pistons in the first game, but the Magics do have a solid team. It's just they're a young team, and sometimes they're gonna show up to play, and sometimes they're not. But the series have officially started for them. The Magics won the first game and took a game from Detroit. So the next game that's going to be in Orlando, the Magic's got to show up and show out because they have a chance to beat Detroit, but they have to win this next game. The next two games will be in Orlando, but the third game is going to be super pivotal. And I like the Magic's chances. I think the Pistons are the overall better team this year, but I do like the Magic's chances, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won this series. Um, Next game came on tonight, Suns versus the Thunder. No surprise, the Thunder beat them 120 to 107. So that makes their series and has the Thunder up 2-0. The Thunder's the Thunder, bro. That's a good team, man. They solid top and bottom. They probably sweep the Suns. I'm just gonna be all the way honest. They probably sweep the Suns. Suns gritty. They're gonna fight, but they not the Thunder is they just way better as a team. As a team, they just way better. They on a whole different plane than the Suns. I don't see this going for too much longer. But moving on to the rest of the games, Knicks and Hawks series is tied 1-1. I'm not surprised how the Hawks is looking. The Hawks have looked good for like the last 40 games of the season, and I said it before. The Brooklyn Nets is going to win the championship before the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks is a poorly ran franchise. And as long as Cat, and I've been saying this since last year, Cat refused to play in the paint. If he refuses to play in the paint, the Knicks will lose. Simple and plain. I don't care how good Bronson is. I don't care how the supporting cast defensively is. If Cat don't play in the paint, the Knicks will lose. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And it's up 1-1. And again, this is another series that I would not be surprised if the Knicks lost. Because man to man, they really can't stop Atlanta for real. Man to man. They got a whole lot of weapons. They got guys who can score on and off the bench. And Cat refused to play in the paint. And Cat is not a defender on top of that with Jalen Brunson. These are not defenders. So the Knicks is in a whole lot of trouble. Next series, we got the Nuggets and Timberwolves. If you know, you know. This is going to be a jam-packed series. This series probably go game 6, game 7. Is up 1-1. You got Ant-Man, you got Jokic, and Minnesota took one. They took one from the Nuggets. So the Nuggets better tread lightly. Murray has to play better. If the Nuggets is going to beat the Timberwolves, Murray has to play better. You know what you're going to get out of Jokic, but Murray sets the temperature. If he plays well, they win. It's just that simple. If he plays well, they win. So this series is going to be a dogfight. Next series, Lakers versus the Rockets. Lakers is up 2-0 without Reeves, without Luka. I said this last year when the Houston Rockets acquired KD. They'll be lucky if they go to the playoffs, and if they do, they're out in the first round. I said this on the pod, and I said this on my Instagram. When I said this on my Instagram, everybody and their mother was like, yo, you don't know basketball. You just talking. KD, 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 KD. Guess what? KD's a great player. He is one of the best players ever. It's not on KD for them to go far. He's a piece. He's not end all be all. He's not in his prime anymore. He's a piece. And their team is not good enough to go further than the first round. They don't even have their team all the way how it's supposed to be as far as how you design the team. They don't have a real complementary piece with KD. So they down 2-0 without Luka and Reeves. They going home first round. And I love it when I'm right and they just get quiet. Like, damn, all these people talking about I'm crazy, don't know ball. Where y'all go? Like, now when it happened and when he got a quiet, this is the summertime, so everybody hopeful, everybody talking. Matter of fact, I just say it on my Instagram. I said it on Ryan Holland's Instagram. Shout out to Ryan Hollins. I said it on his Instagram. I say, yo, Rockets going home first round. And all in the comments, yo, you don't know basketball. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop being a hater. Not from Ryan Hollins, but from, the people that, on Instagram. They was all on my ass. Now they down 2-0. Now it's quiet. I don't say it to be a bad guy. I'm saying it objectively, watching the game, knowing the game, playing the game. Just because I didn't play in the NBA doesn't mean I don't know the game. 2-0. Next series is Cavs and Rockets. Excuse me, Cavs and Raptors. And Cavs is up 2-0. Not surprised there. Raptors, still a young, feisty group, but they're just not good enough. They're not going to beat the Cavs. They're not. Now this would be real funny if the Raptors win the next 4 games. Then I'm going to be the one eating crow, right? But the Cavs is just in a different space and place. They're fighting to get to the finals. This is the year that they can get to the finals. This is the year. The East is wide open. And the Cavs for the last 2 years have been one of those teams that have put themselves in position but always came up short. But playing playing the Raptors, this should be a gentleman's sweep. This series should end 4-1, honestly and respectfully. Don't expect much out of the Raptors, in my opinion, and they still learning. Next series, Celtics and 76ers. I had the Celtics winning this 4-1. I love the 76ers. I had the Celtics winning this 4-1. I love the 76ers young backcourt though. That backcourt is electric. They get busy and it's young energy. I think it's high time and by time that they explore the possibility on trading Joel Embiid. I said this last year. And now that they really have a true second piece in VJ Hedgecomb, it's about that time. You got to get Joel up out of there and move on to young energy. You got young superstars, and Joel Embiid is a great player, but he's an older guy, and he's always hurt. So let another team in another city take the chance on him being healthy, and you could get a lesser piece who's going to be available, but still a piece. With Joel Embiid, you could trade him for a legit shooter. So if you got a guy like Maxey who could create, you got a guy like VJ that could create. If you put a shooter at that 3 position on the outside, oh my goodness. Watch out for the 76ers if they was able to do that. But it's tied up 1-1 with the Celtics. They did get that second game. I was surprised on that, but again, I still had the Celtics winning this series 4-1. Next and final series, Spurs versus the Trailblazers. It's tied 1-1. I wasn't expecting that. I thought this would be a sweep, but a part of the Trailblazers winning is a part of San Antonio losing Victor Wembanyama. If you haven't seen the second game, he went down. It looks like concussion protocol. He went down pretty hard, and he has to stay away, and he probably missed the third game. So that would make that game somewhat interesting, but I still think the Spurs is a better team without Victor Wembanyama as far as a better team than the Trailblazers. But when Victor comes back, and he will come back at some point, they still going to win the series, whether they win 4-2 or 4-3. They're still beating the Trailblazers long term, and they still the better team with or without. They're not a better team with Victor, but they still the better team than the Trailblazers without Victor Wembanyama. So I got the Spurs winning that series. And yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. I missed a couple of y'all state. Shout out to fam. I'm riding with Detroit Pistons because Asor Thompson is from Oakland. Okay. Okay. KD had 24 turnovers against the Lakers in Game 4. I don't understand why KD brings the ball up. When he was in Brooklyn and we played the Celtics, they was ripping him whenever they wanted to. Stop bringing the ball up. But that's on the coach. That's on the coach. Just let KD get that thing in the mid-range and just let him cook. Let him do what he want to do once the ball is in half-court range. But bringing the ball up is not his strong suit, at least not anymore. Again, he's not the young man he used to be. He could still cook. Let him cook. Let him get that old man game. Because he's a bucket. He's always going to be a bucket. But now he bringing up the ball. Get that rock out his hand when it comes to bringing up the ball. He's not the point forward that he used to be. He's still a scorer. Put him and let him cook in the half court. That's why he has so many damn turnovers. Because they just rip him. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Our Keep the Lie Live segment. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode is it smart to put your relationship on social media? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Is it smart to put your relationship on social media? And the reason why I asked this question because, and to keep it short and sweet, to me, I thought relationships were supposed to be private. You had ladies that we spoke about earlier in Kiki Palmer and Nia Long, where they want guys to sign NDAs. So they want whatever that they're doing, whether it's a relationship or whether it's a sneaky link, they want it to be private. I've seen other celebrities that I'm not going to name because they're not really celebrities, but they're known, right? But they're putting their relationships on social media, and it's in a bad light. So when you put your relationship, especially a toxic one, a bad one, in my mind, I'm guessing that you're doing it for views, you're doing it for clout, you're doing it for clicks. Because any relationship that's worth a damn, especially romantically, that's not something you want to broadcast. That's not something you want to give to the world. What sense do that make? Especially if your feelings is attached to it, and this is both men and women. Why put that on your live, you and your boyfriend arguing? Why put that on live with you and your girlfriend arguing? Why? And then you have other people in the background with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend and you're questioning them, you're insulting them. Why do that? Why? It makes you look stupid. It really do. It's not a smart thing to do, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, because matters of the heart is matters of the heart. So you blast your person today, but tomorrow when y'all resolve it and y'all find peace and y'all find resolve and you can forgive, you're gonna look more stupid, even more stupid being together. But did you just say this person was one of the worst people in the world? And now you back with them? So why put it on social media? So for me, when people put their relationships on social media, especially when it's a toxic one, you're doing it for the clicks. You're not doing it out of the love, because you're not showing love. You're showing discord. You're showing that there's friction in your relationship. If you're showing love, cool. All right, I get that. All right, I enjoy love. I love seeing love. But at the end of the day, you're not putting you and your partner in the best light when you're talking to them crazy because they done did something to you. It's a toxic situation, and now you're trying to cash out and get views and clicks and clout. You can't get that and trying to maintain the levels and the levels and the measures of the heart. Can't protect both. So what are you doing it for? So that's my Keep the Lie Live for this episode. I just don't understand it, but like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for clicks or are you looking for love? Shout out to the chat. I gotta see what the chat talking about. Shout out to Roman Jack. How about you vet your man before you give him your secrets, like old people did. Good point. Shout out to I missed that one you said, family said that's bad coaching. Yeah, we talk about KD. Yes, I missed that one. My bad. Sometimes when I miss y'all comments, I really just miss y'all comments. I'm never ignoring it, unless somebody's like an idiot, right? Because we do get trolls over here, right? But yeah, so you talking about KD. You should never put your relationship on social media that is bad might turn into a toxic relationship real fast. Facts. Especially when you young. Especially, and I don't want to say when you're young. I'm also meaning like, yeah, especially when you're like a certain age, when you're very young in age and young acting, because emotions take over. Especially when you using social media and you on your live and you going back and forth with your significant other on your live, meaning like you're arguing with them and you have the camera like your face, like, and you're just arguing with them. So are you doing it for love or are you doing it for clicks? Which one is it? Because you can't protect the matters of the heart and monetize at the same time. Like, what are you doing? I've never seen anybody have a great relationship and try to maintain both unless they're just showing love. If you show toxic behavior on your live, what do you think the people going to do on your live say? Yeah, get them, girl. Yeah, don't take that from her, bro. They're going to egg on the foolishness. They're going to egg on the train crash. So, like, what are we doing? It's ill begotten. So I don't understand when people do it. It's like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for love or are you looking for views? It's never a great idea to do that. And I'm not saying not to put your relationship on social media if you, again, displaying love. And mind you, you want to be greedy with social media. And what do that mean? All right, if you want to show you and your significant other having a great time on social media, okay, a nice picture wherever y'all at, cool, right? But to go in further after the picture, you bringing other people, that's not going to give your relationship the love that it needs. Not that you want, that your relationship needs. You looking for validation from people that don't know you. You're looking for validation for people that don't care if you're in a relationship or not. Make that make sense. And what happened to the same people that you're looking for validation from? Let's say they don't mess with you no more. They want to cancel you now. Then what? Now what your relationship is worth to you. Instead of it being worth something to you, it doesn't matter what anybody else think outside of that. Because you're there for the love and not for the clicks. Ooh. It's this dopamine hit is crazy nasty work out here. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing. This is episode 257. That's a lot of damn episodes. And I do it with y'all help. I do it with y'all engagement. I do it with y'all showing major love to the pod. Make sure y'all hit them likes, hit the 100s, hit them hearts on your way out. It helps with the growth of the show. I want to thank some of the people in the chat. I'm not going to say everybody, but shout out to my dog, Rowan Jack, Fam, Tom, Paul, Rowan 12, who else? Maria. Shout out to all of y'all. Leaf, Yellow. Shout out to all of y'all. If I don't say your name, it's not because it's anything personal. It's just I'm not going to say everybody. But again, thank y'all for y'all support. And remember, I drop a video daily, so continue to engage with those videos and shorts. I'm dropping those all day long or every single day. And again, I appreciate y'all support each and every episode. I'm also going to be doing a special episode tomorrow. We're doing the draft episode. NFL draft. First round. So I'm doing a special episode tomorrow for the draft. I should have said it even more throughout the the episode tonight, but we're doing a special episode tomorrow for the draft. NFL draft is tomorrow. So you know your boy gonna be talking football, baby. And make sure y'all come and show that love and love, light, and I appreciate that as always. Again, I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get to find us some movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. And remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Like we do have some trolls from time to time. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is Opportunity and Ashley Gonzalez. Hate has a location. It's just not here. Even Ashley Gonzalez, she's just an idiot. Don't like that lady. Hate, but don't like her. She deserves all that energy. But again, we celebrate life culture over here at the end of the day. Again, I'm on every Sunday, every Wednesday at 10:30. So continue to show that major, major love. And again, tomorrow draft episode, NFL draft is going to be popping. So make sure y'all tune back in and tell me, represent your team. Wear your jerseys. Well, I'm not going to know if you got jerseys on or not. But, represent your team. Tell me which player that you would like your team to draft and so on and so forth. And it's going to be fun. So, man, again, make sure y'all tune and tap into tomorrow's special episode draft special. Again, if you're first time tapping in, Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? Ashley Lovechild is your host, which is me. Make sure y'all tap into my music in all media platforms. And y'all already know, man, it's love. And I'll see y'all I'm see y'all tomorrow for NFL Draft. I'm out.